Jurgen, obviously Newcastle on Boxing Day, and Rafa always gets a good reception when he returns to Anfield. I just wonder what that kind of reception tells you about the standing given to a manager, the kind of respect and the affection that he's held in as well when a manager delivers success at this club.
Oh, I think this club is famous to not to forget. All the supporters of this club is famous to not to forget people who did an outstanding job here. It's not only Rafa, but it's Rafa, and especially because he's still in the Premier League and from time to time around, living still here in the area, obviously became a proper Scouser, which is quite rare for a Spanish guy. I like him. He's a fantastic manager and a really good person. So I'm happy for him that he always gets this kind of reception. That's really, it's nice. It just shows, that obviously Liverpoolians don't forget that easy. So good for him. Very good.
In terms of this season's title race, twice when you played before City this month, you've beaten Bournemouth and you've beaten Wolves, while they've gone on to lose at Chelsea and at home to Palace. What do you read into that?
Nothing.
Really?
What do you read into that?
Well, I just wonder whether it's just a little different for City this season because now there's a little bit of pressure on them compared to last season.
You saw the 2 games they played against Chelsea? Yes. Didn't look like they felt a lot of pressure. They were outstanding in these games, and against Chelsea, if you don't finish off your situations, you can lose. That's how it is. But City was a clear better team that day. That was everybody from Chelsea as well. And Crystal Palace did an outstanding job, scored proper stunners or stunning goals, and that makes life always uncomfortable. So and then they didn't finish off, but not because of I couldn't see anything what you saw then maybe of that. So it's absolutely nothing. It's just football games. It's difficult to win football games these times, and so sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't work out. But I cannot see more in that than just that they were a bit unlucky in these 2 games, and that happens from time to time.
Well, are we looking then, as you kind of alluded to last week, I suppose, at a three-way title race? Because obviously Spurs moved back to within 6 points of you yesterday, and probably said quite a bit about the threat that they'll pose as well, the way they did that.
Oh, look, you make these stories, not you alone, but you in the room, you make these stories about who is in, who is out. I saw the game yesterday against Everton. It was, of course, with a goal which didn't count, and then the first goal of Tottenham. That was a situation which Tottenham obviously needed yesterday because Everton played absolutely more than okay in the first couple of minutes, but then they hit pretty much everything. That was then really impressive how Tottenham did. So that the same can happen or will happen to Chelsea, to Arsenal, all that stuff. There's no decision is made. That's how it is. Why should it be? Nobody can feel safe. Nobody should feel out of the race. Whatever. That's it's just not. It's not a time to think about it actually. And for me, they were never out. So how? Why should everyone? Surprised that they are in now again. So it's just a fantastic football team, and they had. I said a few times. For me, Tottenham had the most difficult summer period, and I don't talk about not signing players because if you have the right team, you should sign players. It's just because 8 or 9 players played the full World Cup nearly, and playing so far such a season is more than impressive, and that's the situation. So yeah, a lot of teams are in whatever you call the title race, and that's how it should be. And that's maybe the only difference to last year when pretty much nobody was in anymore at this time, and that's good for all supporters out there.
It felt like a pretty good weekend for Liverpool, at least on the whole, I would guess. Probably more good news in terms of players coming back as well.
Who was out?
Trent.
Yep. Is back in training, full training. We will see. Yeah.
Naby got a few bumps and bruises, didn't he, against Wolves?
Nothing new yet. That because it's pretty early today. Nobody said to me so far that he cannot train. I would expect him back in training today.
I think probably more longer term in terms of Joel and
Oh yes, no news on that front. They are still out. Yeah, no, not yet. Yeah, yeah.
This sort of time last year, I think you'd sort of almost done your big transfer business. So now we're getting to January. Are you happy with what you've got? Are you expecting to bring more in?
No, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with what I've got and what I have. But it's how was that? We don't know. That's the only thing. The only little bit why I keep the door open, because if some things happen, then we need to have a look. A few more things happen, then we need to have a look, because there are coming monstrous number of games still, and that's really important that we always can react. But as long as we can react, it's all good. But how I said, if then something will dramatically change, then we need to have a look. That's all. Now, if nothing happens, then I would say we will not do anything.
Juliet? Jurgen, because it's been 12 months around now, has he made more of an impact than you thought he would do? And also the way that people talk about him, is he one of the most influential players that you've worked with?
He's very, very, very influential. That's really good. I'm happy about. When I met him first, I thought I knew about his personality. Do you feel something like that? What kind of guy is sitting in front of you? So I was pretty sure that he will be like he is actually. And on the pitch, we have to say that after what I heard now, that Tottenham game last October, when we conceded 4 goals, after that, before Birch came in, we started already defending much better, conceded much less than already, and then Birch came in on top, and yes, that helped, of course. But it was always, how I said, I have no problem with giving all the compliments and all the credit to the boys. That's really like that. I only know that the game doesn't work like this. You bring in one player, and that doesn't change anything if the rest is not improving as well. So we improved as a team. That's true, and he's a massive factor in that. That's for sure as well. So hopefully it can stay like this. That's all. So not 100% sure which system they will play, but it looks so far like could be again a 5-4-1. So which means you have to be patient, you have to be lively, you have to try to create, you have to be 100% aware of their counter threat, because that's massive. They cross a lot, they have run down in the box, so there are a lot of things you have to think about. That's football, that's what I'm thinking about, and not the general situation. How did we play and what did we reach and what can we achieve? That's not interesting in that moment. We really think about Newcastle, and when that game is finished, then we can sleep twice, and then Arsenal stands in front of us. They are on their bikes from 7 in the morning to 11 at night time. So they are really ambitious as well. So that's the situation. All the rest are only stories which maybe you want to and you can think about, but believe me, I don't think a second about January or February. I think about Newcastle. So, and that's all what is in my mind. And as long as the boys can follow me on that path, and you don't disturb that with asking constantly about what will happen when, everything can be fine.
Yes, Carl?
James Milner's been for a playing squad who's won a Premier League title, but how important is the personality and the character of all the players as we sort of go into the second half of the season in terms of maintaining that momentum?
The only thing I know that all players who won the title one time, it was for all of them at one time, the first one. I had. You don't know what is more important. Is it experience or is it potential, attitude, desire, joy, completely being completely fresh, never had it before. But there's nothing. We don't know it. You absolutely don't know it. It's not important. So it's not. Experience is always good if you're young enough to use it. If you're 105 and if you experience it now, you got it. Then it's quite difficult to use it for football, for example. And that's why really we have to use all experience from the last game, especially from the last season, stuff like that. That's much more important. So, but character always is always very important. But these boys, there's no doubt about that in the squad, because we achieved in the past already big things, finals, good positions in the league, and that's we did that all together. And so so far we only did steps together, and that's what we have to do further on. And then we will see where it ends. That's it.
Adam, anything from you? No? Anything? I think that means me to finish off. Just on that, I know you're a big fan and you go pretty well with him. What's your making the job that he's doing at Newcastle? Because it seems like he keeps delivering for them even in difficult circumstances.
Oh yes, because he was still talking about what the Rafa. Yeah. So no, it's just he's outside. I know him really for a long time. I knew him before I came to Liverpool, and he did always brilliant jobs, very successful. He was at Napoli, outstanding. One different thing. So that's just makes him a special person. But it's I don't know too much about Newcastle. From time to time I read a little bit, and then I heard that nobody was really happy with the amount of money they had to sign players. Let me say it like this, and so that's it. But Rafa is too experienced to carry that through a full season, and these emotions. So meanwhile they are really settled. They have done a good moment result-wise. A difficult start. Meanwhile they got it, and was always difficult to play against them. And Newcastle are here at home as well. So we know it will be a tough job. But the most important thing for us in these moments is really that we, with all the things, especially when you win a last game and you have to go. That's why I knew that the Wolverhampton game was a big challenge for us. Big challenge because playing against United, winning a few days before against United, before that against Napoli. So if you want the big stages and go into Wolverhampton in a, not only players' mind and people's mind, it could drop focus a little bit. And I was really happy when I saw the attitude which we had for that game as well. And that's what we need: to stay angry, stay greedy, stay really in the job. And that's what we have to do against Newcastle again. That's now the third time probably where I play against a back five. So, but still always different. So we need to adapt to the different things they offer or us or have in their game. So that's all. And Rafa, with all his quality, of course, organize a defense pretty well, and that's. Not so cool, good for him, not so good for us, but we still